Hi, BookTube. It's Gina, and today is Thursday, but I missed Tag Tuesday, so I am going to do a tag today. This is the Books and Life tag, which was created by Steve Donahue, and I love this tag. These are my favorite kind of tags because it's just a chatty sit down and talk about my books and my life tag. And these are the funnest and the easiest for me. You know, I love talking about books. I love the kind of physical aspect of books as much as I love the experience of reading and what is inside the books. So talking about books and life and your library is right up my alley. So let's get started. Prompt number 1, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a normal person and 10 being the late Harold Bloom, I'm going to add the not late Steve Donahue. He only counted himself as a 9, but I think he should definitely be a 10. Anyway, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a normal person and 10 being the late Harold Bloom, how much are books and reading a part of your life? Now, if Steve counts himself as a 9, then I cannot be any more than a 3. I would say books are a very important part of my life, but I have other things in life that I do, whereas these other 2 people mentioned do nothing except for read and write and talk about books. So I'm going to say I'm about a 2 or a 3 probably. And I think that if one is a normal person, being a person that doesn't read, well, maybe I'm a 4 or 5. I don't know. I'm in the middle somewhere. I love books. It's a very important part of my life, but I don't work in the book industry. I don't really collect books. I read them, I buy them, I have a nice library, but I think I'm probably right in the middle somewhere. Prompt number 2, where does your personal library stand right now in relation to the rest of your life? Do you have more books now than you have ever had? Fewer? How has your library changed? So I have more books now than I've ever had, but I have had this number of books probably since about 1999 when we bought these bookshelves. I've got 3 of these big black bookshelves in here. I've got 3 more big ones in the office, and this has been where I have corralled all of my books. And so once I got all these bookshelves, I quickly filled them up. And I do have some book piles, book stacks, and those tend to grow and shrink. But I try to limit what I have to what I can keep in these shelves with a few stacks around. My collection has definitely changed as I've gotten older. I have, and I said I don't collect books, but I do collect some. I collect the Rosamund Pilcher, I collect the Miss Reed, and some of the old 1900s to 1950s ladies. So I've got like a bunch of Barbara Pym and D.E. Stevenson, and a lot of that type of book that I do like to collect. I've got actually all of my Jane Austen books right here. So I've definitely have collected more books over the last few years in specific editions and authors that I didn't really do before. So I am enjoying curating my collection now more than I did before, getting rid of books that I know I'm not going to read. And I've got a lot of things in here that are old that I know I'm not going to read. And so what I generally do is, this area is sort of my favorite keepers. Things will get moved sort of away from the favorites area and into the kind of transition area as I decide to kind of get rid of things. And then when I bring something in, that I'm going to transition to sort of shelf where I take things off of there and give those to Goodwill. So it's always in flux, as I'm sure it is for most of you. Things are constantly coming in, constantly going out. Prompt number 3, take a mental step back and ask yourself, what is the most likely first bookish impression a newcomer would have in your home? And obviously somebody walking in would think I love books because I've got a lot. I've got coffee table books. People always ask, have you read them all? As I'm sure they have you also. And I've read a lot of these, but I love having a big TBR. I love having a library full of things that I have not read. It's fun for me to constantly have something that I can pick up off my shelves and read and know that I've always got something to read. I've got favorites that I will reread, and I've got things that I haven't read. So that is always a lot of fun. Question number 4, how often, if ever, gulp, do you clean or reorganize your books? Not nearly enough. I've been doing a little bit of reorganization as I bought some new ones, and things are dusty. I will walk my weekly cleaning. I generally will wipe the fronts of these down, but we had some foster kittens recently, and they were getting behind the books. They were teeny and cute. They've all been adopted now. And we lost one of them, or we thought we lost one of them somewhere. We couldn't find her. And so we were moving books around to try and see if she had gotten stuck behind a book. And it was frightening back there. Frightening. So I need to do a little dusting behind my books. It's not pretty. Prompt number 5, on average, how many books do you acquire in a given week? And this varies. I do probably buy books monthly. I bought a big stack of these misreads and some of my favorites. I did a haul at a used bookstore, and I had 2 gigantic armfuls. They gave me a box as I was leaving because I couldn't carry them all. So it varies, because sometimes I will buy a stack of 10 and sometimes I will buy 1. So I'm going to say average per week is probably 5. What song is your current earworm? Free Life by Neil Diamond. It's a good song, but it is stuck in my head, and that's an okay thing because I love it. Prompt number 7, what percentage of your self-control do you retain in a well-stocked bookshop? 0. I, like I was saying in the used bookstore that I just went to, piles. I was like carrying them like this as I was leaving because I could barely hold them all. So they gave me a box. I have no self-control. And luckily, I'm in a spot in life where if there's a book I want, I can buy it. I'm older, I work, if there's a book I want, I will buy it. And so I have no self-control, and that's okay. Prompt number 8, do you ever feel the need to take a break from books? If so, what form does it take? I don't ever take a break from books. I love having my books around me. I read every day. I jump from one book to the next. I'm constantly picking things up, putting them down. When I travel, even if I take my Kindle to read, I'll take a couple of paper books to put on my nightstand because I love to have paper books around me. So I don't ever take a break from books. I don't only do books, so I do other things. So I'm not constantly playing with my books, but I never feel the need to really take a break. Question number 9, when you meet a new person, how long does it take for you to bring up books? And I cannot remember the last time I met a new person, you guys. And now the only new people that I meet are you, which is delightful because I don't have to worry about talking about books. Actually, it was kind of funny. I had to buy a new phone. Last month I smashed up my phone. I dropped it, and we were at the Verizon store, and I suppose I met the person that was helping us, and my husband actually mentioned to her that I had a YouTube channel, And so she's like, oh, what do you talk about? And I was like, books. And it was very awkward. This is the first sort of stranger that I had talked to about having a channel. And it was really, I don't know about you guys if you talk about it in public, but it was really weird. So we did talk about books a little bit, but of course we didn't have the same taste in anything. She was young and read science fiction, which is one of the few things I don't very often read. So I rarely talk about books with strangers or with people that I am just newly meeting. Prompt number 10, have you given any thought or made any provision for your personal library after you croak? And I have no illusions that my library is worth anything to anybody except for me. And so I don't care what happens to it. I mean, people can take what they want. I've got some fun, these old modern libraries. Look at that edition of Villette. Is this valuable? Nope. But is it pretty? Yes. So I would hope that some of these would just go to, they'll probably go to a thrift store. I will probably, honestly, here's what will happen. When I get old or if I get sick, I'll start getting rid of things. I can't imagine when I'm 85 years old that I will still have this quantity of books. It will probably get weeded down. So we'll see what happens. But I did realize, you guys, this is a really funny story. So I'm getting ready to go to Las Vegas on a little sister trip. And so I was looking up a used bookstore in Vegas. It's not used. It's a rare bookstore, Bauman's Used Books or Bauman's Rare Books. It is an expensive rare bookstore in the Venetian shops. And so I was like, what can I do that's bookish in Vegas? Because of course I've got to do something bookish. So I was perusing their online website and I saw this exact book, you guys. This exact book, this exact edition for $750 on their website. This is in really good shape. It's got a little bit of chips up at the top, but I was like, okay, this book does not need to go to the thrift store. So hopefully I got to put a little sticker on this one or something to say, actually nobody will ever see that. But that was kind of a fun find, right? I can't see if I can get a picture of that without such a terrible glare. I can't do it. But that was fun. So I hope that when I get old, I can maybe, pass this on to somebody who would love it and appreciate it. I don't care about selling it or about getting money for it, but I should go through, because I have this I bought at the thrift store for probably, what is the price that I paid for it still in? No, but it's, I probably paid $10 at the most for it. So I should go through these and see if there's anything that if I do get old that I want to give away and make sure it doesn't just get thrown away. And prompt number 11, are you known among your friends and loved ones for your weird and probably unhealthy relationship with books? And my family, they humor me. And my sister, we did a trip to Europe a few years ago, my first trip for my 50th birthday. And my sister, one of the things I wanted to do was hit a couple of the bookstores. We did Shakespeare and Company. We did the old bookstore in Venice. I can't remember what it's called now, but she was a trooper. She went to all the bookstores with me and really just was up for doing whatever I wanted. And it was so wonderful and fun. So they are, my family's wonderful. My friends all just take it in stride that this is part of me and what I love. So it's a lot of fun. I have wonderful friends and family. All right, well, so that is the prompts. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.